Hello, beautiful human. You clicked on our conversation with Tiffany Young, and this is a really fascinating one. She's about to take us inside the life of a K-pop artist and what it's like to be an idol. She spent 10 years in Girls' Generation. She's gone solo kind of twice, and she had a subgroup, TTS. You're going to learn a lot about her music. By the way, new single of hers is out now. It's called Over My Skin, and just how the whole K-pop universe works. Please leave your honest feedback in the comment section below. If you could, subscribe. No pressure. And we also have a podcast. Link in the description below. Okay, enjoy this conversation with Tiffany Young. I think you're going to like it.
Let's do this. Zach Sang Show.
It's a Zach Sang Show. We got Heather. We got Dan. And we welcome to the studio Tiffany Young.
Hey. Hi, Zach. Hi,
Hello.
Heather. Hi, Dan. Thank you for having me.
I am very excited to have you here because you, correct me if I'm wrong, you're kind of a K-pop icon in a sense.
Well, thank you. That's very flattering. Girls' Generation has been around for a decade, so I think I've had enough years to say that we've kind of made a mark.
Really big mark.
Thank you.
You're one of the two members out of Girls' Generation to have a solo album. You create a subgroup out of it, and now you're back doing your own thing. So we have a lot to dive into because I'm very fascinated by the entire K-pop world and how
It is fascinating.
Works. And can you agree that now more than ever, it's at the forefront of a lot of people's minds?
Yes. K-pop has evolved and is forever evolving and growing, and it went from Girls' Generation, we had a year where we were performing at Madison Square Garden, we were on the billboards with LG, and we had our amazing run going to the YouTube Music Awards and winning, and then there was also Gangnam Style that. Gangnam Style was such a huge. I still think it's one of the greatest.
It is.
and right now to BTS, I'm just always amazed and proud that I'm part of such a big. Happy to be part of it, K-pop, and that I'm excited to see where it's going to go.
Has it always been? I mean, not always, but since you've been a part of it, mainstream, would you consider yourself as one of the people who brought it mainstream? You and Gangnam Style, and obviously BTS is doing it now.
Girls' Generation, yes. Girls' Generation forever. Yeah, I think so. Especially, I'm very proud of how we brought it to where it was, because we were that generation where there wasn't YouTube when we started, and then it happened. So it just kind of blew up, and that's when the views and kind of taking it international and taking it all over the world. I got to go to Madison Square Garden, to the Staples Center, to France, to just amazing places, and pretty proud of being the only girl band to do it too.
The internet changed the reach of K-pop.
Yes, I'm so happy about it.
And your story is really fascinating because you grew up in California, right?
Yes.
And then at 15, you kind of get pressured into becoming a part of a singing competition.
Yeah, because my brother.
Yes. Your brother was the one who forced you to do it.
Yeah, I was born in San Francisco, raised here in Southern California, and then music was kind of my therapy. And growing up, that was the only thing that made me happy. And my brother was just like, I think you should really do this. And we didn't know there were going to be a bunch of executive labels, A&Rs, and people who were scouting for new K-pop, maybe a new girl. And I was auditioning, and they were like, I got a bunch of business cards.
Okay.
And I was like, what? Yeah, I just came here to sing. And they're like, oh no, we want you to audition for our label. And then, that's it. That's how it all happened.
But it all happens within 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So they hear you sing. Do they make you an offer that same day?
Yeah, and then that weekend I went to an audition. I met one of the casting directors, and she was like, "Yeah, could we just tape everything you've got? What do you do? Tell me about you." And then I sang, I danced, I gave them a little bit about me, and then a couple days later, she flew back to Korea and then called me and said, "We want to sign you." And yeah.
Why are they in America looking for K-pop stars?
I think they're always looking for I mean, now more than ever, there is always a Korean American member, but there's also Canadian Korean or Canadian Chinese, Chinese Canadian, said it the wrong way, the other way around. But yeah, they're always looking for an English speaking member or a foreign member who can speak a foreign language so that it can reach more fans, like so that we can start talking for ourselves, not with the translator.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it was convenient when we came to LA or New York.
But because you're the only one in the group who knows English, do you instantly become the leader?
No, we have a leader, and it's so 7 of us. Well, like 6 of us are the same age, so it became kind of like we're all the same age, and the other 2 are a year and 2 years younger. So yes, we have a leader, my friend Tan, but in terms of like, because it was so much, so there were so many things to juggle, I got to be really hands-on in terms of the creative direction and like what kind of music and what kind of fashion and videos. And I just am very passionate and expressive, and they're just like, no one loves this more than you, like no one loves us more than you, we trust you. And yeah, it led to me kind of taking control and also being able to create a subunit out of it.
Yeah, you create the subgroup.
Yeah.
TTS.
Yes.
So, but from somebody on the outside, I would think, or I think the stereotype is that if you're a member of one of these groups and you work for the company, you actually don't have much control. You might not have a ton of creative control.
The first couple of years, yeah, it seemed I was learning all the rules so that I can make new ones. It's like, you know, they say learn the rules to break them, but it's like you don't need to break them. You just learn them and make new ones. And I think I hope everybody, I hope I don't look too much like a rebel, because I'm starting to look like one because I'm the only one that's here. Yeah, hi.
Is that scary?
Yeah, it can be scary. Growing up, I was 15. I didn't have parents around me in Korea. I didn't speak Korean fluently at the time, so yeah, I was scared, like trying to kind of blend in but still have my own opinions and be around K-pop parents, which are a whole new thing. Oh, that's a new term, K-pop parents. Yeah, I was the only one in the meeting that. Because I was like, hi, I'm representing me. And then it was all K-pop parents. So
what role do the K-pop parents actually have? Like, can they speak on behalf of their kid?
Yeah, of course. In terms of like, my bandmates were at the label starting at 10. So their lives were based around like going to practice and rehearse and then going to school and kind of maintaining it all at the same time. And as 10-year-olds, you do need parents to manage that. And I came at 15 thinking that I was in charge, and that made me grow up real fast, and I'm here now.
Were your parents nervous shipping you off?
They
Really?
said no. And then I was like, you should be thanking me. I should be moving out at 17 or 18. I'm saving you 3 years. So yeah, I was that kid.
Wow.
But I mean, and I didn't come back until I was set to debut. So I was determined. Like there were times that I just cry and want to give up because it's intense. Like I've never even said that before, but I'm here. Like I was passionate about being an artist and having a story and making others feel better, because I felt better through music, and I thought that was magical.
Who made it intense? Who put the pressure on the members? Was it each other? Was it the executives?
I think it's the system itself. It's like you have to be able. So obviously we take vocal lessons, dance lessons, language lessons, acting lessons, and then on our downtime, like we'd get scripts from like radio shows like that our seniors go to, or the other artists go to, and we'd take the like scripts and we'd like practice reading to each other and hosting. Yeah, and it's intense, but it's kind of made me who I am, and it can be crazy, but I took it in a very positive way.
Do you think that system is necessary and vital to creating a superstar?
Yes and no, because at first, like when I was there, when I was younger, I was like, okay, yeah, I need to be, this is me being responsible. This is me learning. Like I need to do this. This is what it takes versus now that I am out of it, and I am kind of the only one out of it right now. I'm blessed. Whew. I love my bandmates. Thank you for supporting me. I do believe it, that there needs change, and that I hope that me being here and kind of doing my own thing, and that's what it is nowadays. Like you get to do what you want on your terms and kind of do all the things you want. It's not just you can only do this or you have to be here, you can't say things. I think the beauty of now is having a voice and speaking up and saying, you know what, it was great, but there can be change.
And do you think that the rules have changed a little bit for the people currently in the system, or do you think it's just as intense as it's always been?
I think there is an in-between going on. Like it does still seem like pretty intense, and obviously all the things that I grew up doing, like language lessons and dance lessons, and newer artists seem like they're as polished as and doing the intense training program. But there is a new underground scene where there are a lot more independent artists that are trying out new things and different styles, and it's working, and people are really reacting to it because that's the truth. That's truth. And I think that's why I'm here. Like the truth is I'm at this place where I want it to be about the craftsmanship of what it is to create a sound, and I'm really just kind of going back into the studio and figuring out what I want to say, what I want it to sound like, and yeah, here I am.
And obviously everything you've been through, it's kind of all turns into inspiration for music.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you have stories for days. Was it hard to get out of the contract?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, of course. It was a big decision, especially when the label is one thing and my bandmates are another. I think that's the confusion that was going on. We are blessed that we do get to stay together as a band, but I did leave the label, so I think that's the confusion there.
So you can still be in Girls' Generation or TTS?
Yeah, no, yes.
Okay.
Yes, because when I'm at this place where I said, if you guys want me there, I can be there. Like, it's actually you guys who are busier than I am. I'm like kind of taking my time, and yeah, it's there. This is a new chapter for everyone. It's never been done before. And it is scary. I won't lie. You can see it in my eyes. But I'm happy. And I feel confident and supported. And there's a level of trust from both my bandmates and my fans that when I was getting ready to leave and move back home, everyone was like, remember, this is what you always wanted. And that felt like, I was like, that's everything. Like, to hear that from my bandmates, instead of them going, no, you can't go, or like, you need to stay. It's like, you always wanted this, and go after your dreams. And
it's genuine support and a love for you and wanting the best for you.
Yeah.
So while you were in the group, you always wanted to be a solo artist?
Yeah, of course. We originally, all of us dreamed of being solo artists, and I think that's what was kind of amazing about Girls' Generation. We always kind of made each other be the best of the best version we can be at the time. And it was just like, okay, she's good at this and she's good at this, and just kind of made all of us hyper focus into being the best versions of ourselves.
So how scary was it when you finally made the decision to be like, all right, guys, this is what I'm going to do now?
Yeah. I remember I sat the girls down and I was like, so what do you guys, I said, what do you want to do? Like, where are you guys at? Because it's not about like what's best for like the group. It's like in the end, we are all human beings. What do you want? Like, because I care for you as a human being, and I want you to feel the same way. And everybody was just like, yeah, I think some of my bandmates wanted to go into acting full time. Some of my bandmates wanted to take a break, and I wanted to go to acting school. So I went to acting school as soon as I got here last September for a year. Sweet. And yeah, it was scary, but it's a great decision. It feels like when I was moving to Korea, it all happened so fast, but I was just like really determined, and my heart is in a good place. So I hope, and that's my truth. So I know the truth will prevail.
Amen.
Amen.
And you acted in Korea. You were in the Korean version of Fame.
Yes, I was, the musical, but I haven't done any like film or TV yet.
Not yet.
I've been going to auditions and taking class and lessons. So, I mean, they say it takes 10,000 hours to make a master at your craft, and I'm new to acting, so I'm taking my time.
How different are the acting classes that you take now compared to the ones that you took in Korea?
I can actually understand without translating it over. And at the time, I had to carry a dictionary around. It wasn't on an app where it wasn't. Yeah, I really had a book that I had to carry around. This was like 2006 or 5 or 4. Yeah, but not. Yeah. I'm not that old, but I have a good amount of years, and I'm proud of. But yeah, being back here, and I decided to study the Meister technique, and
cool.
yeah, I'm glad that I got to know what types of and what styles of acting there was, and go like, okay, and read different and research about it, and go, okay, I think this is the one I want to study. And yeah, but before it was just like, okay, I'm going to acting class, but I'm like also looking up what they're saying at the same time. And yeah, it's I feel like I can do it better now that don't have to filter through it twice.
What was like the biggest thing that you learned about yourself through Girls' Generation and that whole workshop experience?
There's so much. There's like 10 years. I think the biggest thing that I really loved about Girls' Generation, and still love about Girls' Generation, is that you can find togetherness, but also find individuality. Like you don't have to be alone to be this, like find yourself and be a solo diva or like, and also being together should make you a better person as a person alone, not just, oh, you're just part of another group like that. And I think 10 years has really proved to everybody that it's not like, oh, they were just together, or I bet that girl wanted to leave, or that's the lesson, that togetherness also created individuality for me.
That's by the way, like I think a lot of people can take that and use it in so many different ways, but isn't that like our world? It's our community. You don't have to lose your individuality to actually like be a part of a bigger group.
Yeah, that's exactly 2018 seems to be that's what I should be telling everybody. Yeah.
Good.
How I don't know much about it. Like, how big was or is Girls' Generation?
Madison Square Garden, bro.
Well, I know that, but like, how big was it even over there? Because if it was big here, how big was it in Korea?
It is. We've had 10 consecutive years, a minimum of an album each year. I think 5 consecutive tours. We have 4 tours that are in the top 10 grossing female band concerts of all time. I was like, we're next to the Spice Girls and Destiny's Child, and that's a little bit of what I did before.
I just can't believe how big it actually was.
Yeah, and we did sell 1 million copies in Japan as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's still something I'm very proud of. I'm like, we sold 1 million copies of one album.
That's
yeah, thank you.
That's amazing.
And yeah, that's
my gosh.
So
some of the things I've done.
When you decide to leave, is it like Zayn quitting One Direction?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was shot, but I didn't quit, so I just left the label. Luckily, that is kind of tricky, me saying it out loud too. But I think it's because that's how like active we were. Like we were always together, and it was always all 8 of us, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's not going to be there. But it's so untrue because they're visiting every other month. And I have like bandmates coming in every other month, and they're like, oh, this is nice. Like they're spending quality time now that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have the pressure of work and everything. You can actually be friends.
It's nice.
It doesn't suck. And now they have a place to stay in Los Angeles.
Yes, they do. That's what they keep saying. They're like, we should just all crash at your place. I'm like, let me know when and how many of you.
Give me 4 weeks notice and I'll let you know.
It's nice.
And obviously you speak Korean fluently now?
Yes, now I do. After
Yeah.
13 years, yes, I can say I'm pretty good at it.
That's a pretty cool skill.
I'm still learning though.
Why was Over My Skin the right song for you to release for? Because, I mean, it's kind of a second wave of your solo life, right?
Yes, it is.
Why was that the right record?
I have been writing in the studio since last October. So that song was written in May, and I was finally really getting comfortable in my skin. Like, I know it sounds kind of cliche in a way, but yeah, from where I stand, like being in a girl band for 10 years, I wasn't able to be super expressive and say like, I've had issues, or I've had like it takes a lot to break out. It's just always like polished, ready to go. And this song for me was like, finally I'm ready to just write and have fun and just kind of break out of the mold. So that song definitely felt like the opener for me.
But it takes you to be comfortable with yourself and in your own skin to actually create something like that.
I am a lot more. I think being 29 versus being 17.
Yeah, you're mature and
Yay.
confident.
Yeah, I
You
talked about
navigated-
carrying dictionaries around in my backpack versus not. Yeah. Yes, I sound like I'm a lot older. I'm not that old. I'm 29 now. So being 29, and I am also from, I mean, there is a pressure of female musicians having to be young, not just in Korea, but all over the world. And I am someone that's proud to be growing up and being happy in being a woman, being, just growing up. And
Yeah.
I think nobody else is talking about it. And I was just like, you know what? I want to talk about it. I'm like, I know the song isn't literally talking about it, but I have more music to share soon, so
Exciting.
this is just one of many.
But you do look like you're like 21. You look very
Really?
young. Yeah, you look very young.
But I'm gonna take that as a compliment
It is
now.
a compliment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, it's very cool to see everything and what you've done and kind of like the path you've set, because a few people from K-pop groups end up going solo, but very few stick with it, and there's like it could be a really dark world after
Absolutely.
it's all done.
Yeah.
Is there any part of you that regrets taking part in the system?
Not at all. I mean, as I was mentioning, when I was younger, of course, when you're younger, you think about, I wish I didn't do that, or I did do that. But as you know, luckily I stayed rooted in what I was doing, and being where I am now. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't there or didn't go through things, because there were days that I made mistakes, or I wanted to quit, or I wanted to give up, or perfectionism got the best of me, and luckily I've had the time, a good year, to kind of step back and see if this is what I really want to do, and this is what I really love to do, and I'm taking it as a privilege all over again. And I wouldn't change a thing.
Do you think they need to redefine the word idol?
Yes, they do. I really do think so. Because when I walked in as a 15-year-old girl saying I want to be an artist, nobody took that seriously. And luckily, 10 years in and a few accomplishments, they take a lot of a lot more idols seriously over the time. But I just hope that when they look at a K-pop idol, there more people will see somebody that's passionate about music and wanting to tell a story.
Why isn't it a K-pop artist? Why
Right?
do they feel like the world wants to see perfection?
Looking back, when I was doing it at 17, I was in this headspace of, you know what, positivity. I can make everything, like, if I push through and tell myself it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. So looking back at it, that was my truth at the time. At 17, things were hard as hell, and sometimes I would cry in my room, but in the end, my heart was that I'm gonna try my hardest and smile through this and make myself feel better and make others feel better. But I think when we see it now, it's like, why is everybody displaying perfection? So at the time, I didn't know that I was displaying perfection, but who knows? There are a lot more. There's a lot more different styles and different sounds of that artists. K-pop artists are experimenting with these days. So.
But the company wants idols. The company wants perfection.
Yeah, they do.
They don't want you
Straight
to
up,
have
yeah.
a relationship. They don't want you to dress a certain way.
Yeah.
They see you. You got to look a certain. I mean, everything is meticulous. Yeah, look at you now.
I'm gonna throw these pillows. Oh no, wait! I want to hug this pillow.
But it's. I mean, they create the definition. Because they, for some reason, think that people want to see perfection. But I can make the argument that in 2018, people want authenticity.
Yeah, that's what I love about 2018, and that I get to kind of say that out loud now. Whereas, I get to say it out loud now. Hello, K-pop artists. 2018 is about authenticity.
It's about who you are,
being real and your truth. And here, you're absolutely right. I think over time it has changed that social media has become such a big platform, and it is about having a voice and an opinion versus let's be perfect. Like, remember when first social media first started, and still till this day people are still kind of trying to portray it to be perfect. And no lie, me too. Like, sometimes I'm like, wait, is that gonna be cool on my grid? I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you.
You're gonna use the filter to cover things up.
Yeah, and you get to go through it. But in the end, now it is about authenticity. It's about like the moment. Like, I'm here. Let me snap a picture. Let me say hi. Yeah, I'm here. And
Just be yourself.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy.
And I can even make the argument that BTS's success is due to a level of authenticity that's in the lyrics of their songs, right? Because they talk about things that everybody's going through.
I told you, K-pop artists are trying new things and experimenting.
Like, they know life, so I don't know. Like, people want to see people they can be friends with. Like, they don't want to see like perfect hair and everything meticulous. But then again, like I'm just looking at it from like an American consumer, maybe.
No, I think all the fans feel the same way. We're all human beings. Like, we have bad days and good days. We make mistakes. We cry. We have snot and tears, and we have days where we want to laugh and joke around and be free. I'm finding that space.
Are the male K-pop groups expected to be as perfect as the female K-pop groups?
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was like they wanted the females. Like, I didn't know if it was everyone was treated the same.
Pretty much. Everybody wants a level of perfection, right?
But
like,
this thought just entered my mind as you're describing what makes a human being.
Thank you.
You described things that like another human being grows attached to that human for, right? Mm-hmm. You cry, you laugh, you share wisdom.
Thank you.
When you do those things, like through social media, people then feel attached to you and you build a relationship. But if you're looking at it from the company's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. Why do they want they don't want human beings. They want vehicles for music, because then the audience is attached to the music and not to human beings. So then you last forever, regardless of their involvement. And then they just want to be able to take you out and plug somebody else in that represents those same ideals.
Well, I was like, you did, and I'm so glad I was there for 10 years, because that's what changed it. Yeah. It isn't just a blank space to be filled with. We are all human beings, and there's something special, and there's a story behind every artist, not idol. Yeah. and I think that, you know what, you cracked the code. I'm gonna say that a lot more, and it's about really kind of showing that over time. Like, I'm not gonna show my snot and tears the first go, but
no, but eventually you build a relationship with people who love your music, and then you just you
open up.
There's a connection. Yes.
Thank you for letting me open up about this. I've never even talked about this like this openly.
I thank you for coming here and talking about it and being so open about it, because it's been a genre of music that I've been very fascinated with as of the last maybe year and a half or so, and it's an interesting world. And honestly, like, there's artists that I've played on the radio that are K-pop artists, and when I play their music, I get feedback from fans, and the feedback from the fans, like, they'll tell me not to play certain artists based on the way the company treats those artists and based on the way that whole relationship works out.
Yeah,
they're very vigilant about it.
Yeah, and I'm super happy that the fans have become so strong and opinionated, where it was just like they were kind of, and you know what? it is for the fans. Like my music and us performing and us being on stage, like we've created a relationship. And I'm so glad that even the fans are finding authenticity and opinions and kind of really, yeah.
And they should. I mean, to be honest with you, I look at it like this. They're the ones giving everybody money. So the company doesn't have money unless the fans end up buying the albums or going to the shows. So if the fans are going to be the ones calling them on their bull squash, they should listen because
bull squash.
Ultimately, it's them. They're the ones paying the bill. Doesn't matter how great the artists are. If they don't have fans to support it,
yeah, absolutely.
The system's done.
Thank you. I need to take you to Korea.
Yeah, give me a call.
I need to take you guys to Korea. Yeah.
I don't know if all the companies are going to like what I have to say, but
well, we can start a revolution.
Are you worried about them seeing what you have to say now?
No, I'm comfortable. I'm planting my feet down, and I hope that I can set an example for K-pop artists to want to try new things and, you know, stay in a group and still keep their dreams and passions and, you know, do things when the time comes. It's not about like, oh, it's too late. It's never too late. Like I thought about that sometimes too, like because it's like you would have thought about doing it earlier or later, or you know, you always think about timing. And yeah, that's another thing that I feared. Like, what about
is my time over?
Yeah, no, but time is what you make it, and I do believe that. I hope that I am being an example, planting my foot down.
And by the way, quality art and a great story will rise no matter what.
Thank you.
That's just the truth.
Thank you.
I just want to dance with your first solo album.
Yes, it was.
And do you have an album ready to go now, like a next one, or do you just have singles?
I am. The EP is in the works. It's almost done.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm kind of aiming towards early 2019.
Wow. And would you say the biggest difference between I Just Want to Dance and this new album is the fact that you're writing it?
I'm writing it on my own with the people I want to be in the studio with, because it gets very specific. It's like, okay, I know this writer is awesome at this and this producer is awesome at this, and it's just so amazing that you get to work with the best and you get to choose and
curated by you.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's curated by me versus like an idea and like waiting on demos and yeah, that's what it was. I'd be like, I want to be a solo artist, and then it took. I came out at year 8.
And
so,
at what point did you actually release something?
Like year 8.5. Yeah, at the end of it. Yeah, it came way later, and I'm glad I got the experience, but yeah, there was a lot of fear behind that too. And now it's just like, you know what? It's about really kind of curating, trying, and the experience, and really doing it, and you know, writing 30 songs and then choosing 3 versus not even writing any and kind of being scared.
Had you written songs alone during your old generation? Like,
yeah, I had a few friends that I wrote with. I wrote like 5 or 10 songs, and this was another issue. I was like, I turned in my music and I was like, you know, hoping.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's good. We're only just going to use one though. So like the whole time, because you don't have another perspective, you're like, okay, my songs are not that good. Like only one of them got placed. And like, you know, you're already like over analyzing yourself, when in the end it wasn't calculation or anything. It was just my feelings there. It's scary, you know, like it was my raw feelings out there, and they're just like, we'll only take one of your emotions
and then get rid of the rest.
I know, yeah. So
Trash.
Here I am. But
Are you taking those songs that didn't get picked up and using them now?
No. Those were the early days. So I'm like, I'm glad I'm here learning from amazing producers and writers. I was just a young girl in my own room writing, and yeah, now I'm here and I'm just like, okay, those are cool words. That's a cool sound. I'm just picking up on things. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you feel like you're starting from scratch almost?
Yeah, I do.
Even though you have millions of fans?
Yeah. And I think that's rare. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, I'm at point blank. But I think that's when anything's possible. So I'm just keeping a positive mindset. And luckily my fans who have been with me, they're amazing. They're just like...
the fanny packs.
Oh my gosh, I haven't decided on them.
I know, I saw you didn't like
did
that.
You see my interview?
Well, I've seen you say it, but I see a lot of them are starting to call themselves that.
Oh, no. I did not set on that. I'm still thinking about it. There are some strong contenders. There was fanny packs. There was like Fanny-tastics. And then another one I recently read was Young Ones. Like Young
Oh, I
Ones.
like that.
That's cool. But also Young One means forever in Korean.
Oh,
So like I think that's special. Yeah, right?
I think that's better than fanny pack.
See, you know what? Thank you, Zach. I'm going to push Young One
I like
because it
the-
sounds cool
It
and it
does.
means forever.
Yeah, it sounds cool and has a great meaning. I do like the branding and merch potential of the fanny packs.
Oh,
But-
yeah, that's true.
But by the way, nobody's really wearing the fanny pack around their fanny anymore. They're like
you're
wearing it like a backpack.
Saying you know what's in.
Yeah, I see people in the airport looking cool.
Okay.
And then I'm just here in my slippers looking like a fool. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Zach for Young Ones.
Young
Fanny
Ones.
Packs was a strong contender. I won't lie.
I'm down with that.
I dig it.
How far from K-pop is your solo work going to be? Are you just moving completely away from it?
No, when I got back, and we're at this time where it's about identity and embracing who you are and your being Korean American, Asian American. Like it's such a beautiful time. I realized I wanted to create something that was everything I loved about K-pop and everything I loved about pop, which was the early 2000s, Britney and Justin and Pharrell. If you can hear it from
I was going to say, it sounds like a little Pharrell Missy Elliott on the new one. I saw the production.
It's exactly the inspiration I drew from. And then right before I wrote that song, I was watching Justin Timberlake at the Forum, and I was like super inspired. So you can say that all the things I love about K-pop and pop are kind of being fused in, and I think everybody's craving a little nostalgia.
Yes. Will there be Korean lyrics?
I hope so in some of the songs, because I was thinking about that the other day with my team. Like there's Spanglish versions of Korean, English and Latin songs, and I grew up to I loved Christina Aguilera's album in the earlier days, and she had lots of collaboration.
I would love like a Korean
and in English, and
Yes.
I've been singing in both languages, and it sounds cool. Like
You should do that.
and there are hi I'd love to, and I hope that's a good opportunity for all the musicians to kind of collaborate, whether it's like a English Korean song, a Korean Latin song. Like I've been singing things and people talking about it, so I hope I can be one of the first.
Do it.
Do it.
Will Korea let you release music? Will the companies allow you to release music there?
Oh yeah, I'm on my own. I don't have anybody in Asia. I mean, I'm with like a distribution label, which is that's the difference. In Korea, it's just one management label, distribution.
They do everything.
Yeah. I only thought that was it too.
But they
for
also
a while.
control the scene.
You could say that, but hi, hi, and I like I said, I keep going back to it. I feel blessed. Like Girls' Generation has become my family, and I'm just so thankful that when it was hard leaving the label, but I was rereading some of the press stuff that when I was leaving, and they're just like, you know what, Girls' Generation isn't disbanding. We're all kind of confused right now, but we're not disbanding. So I was really thankful for that this is a first time for everybody. So let the tables turn.
Cool.
Yeah, but One Direction says they're getting back together, and I just don't believe it, and it breaks my heart.
Are they? Did you like my face? I'm like, are they
No,
getting back
they
together?
always say they're going to get back together, but
Eventually.
I don't believe
Oh.
they are. Like, do the fans, like, are the fans just waiting for you guys to eventually get back together?
Yeah, but when I say that, I mean it. And I mean, I'm pretty sure the gentlemen mean it. It's just it's so intense to get everybody's schedule on the same time, and it's like one of my bandmates got into this amazing movie, and then one of my other bandmates is going to this huge television series. So it's just like, when the timing's right, the stars will align. I think that's what we're waiting for, because we've had 10 years and we've had like
Long time.
two years where we didn't have like a group project on, and everybody was focusing on their own things, and that's where I created the subunit, and we find our space to be together but also apart, and I think this space apart right now will get us back together even stronger.
That's it. You got to build anticipation.
Thank you.
Got to give it time. Let it
Zach,
rest.
you're speaking my language.
Come on. Like One Direction. Like I want a few years on that. Like I when it happens,
Yeah, I'd love
I want
to
be
see them.
freaking out about
Well,
it.
of course, so do I. I'm the biggest One Direction fan. I just don't see them actually getting back together.
I'm a huge fan. I believe that they will. Like,
It will.
I mean, do you remember when I was watching was it the VMA performance where Justin Timberlake brought NSYNC back, and I was like, And then Destiny's Child at Coachella. Come on.
But that's
Everybody
like a
has
quick
one.
reunion. That's not like a full-on like album tour.
Yeah, but that's a ridiculous thing to expect out of One Direction. You want
Why?
them to do an album together?
Yeah, that's what I like. One Direction for One Direction. I'm like, yeah, it would be fun to see them perform together again.
I think we might get a performance. I don't know if we're gonna get an album. Like, would Girls' Generation do an entire album?
We were actually, we thought about it because we were just like, we have to want to talk after like a year or two, and it's already been a year. I'm like, time is flying. So I think maybe after everybody's done with their like film productions, we might get together and start talking, because I think by that time we're all going to be like, yeah, let's do one.
Yeah, 'cause you're gonna be
and I think that's what's changing. Like over the course of time, there were labels controlling and gatekeepers. But now it's just like, it's on us. Like if we decide we're gonna do this, like we can just stream live and say we're gonna write music and just like do it. Yeah, the power of social media. Yeah.
Awesome. Tiffany Young, yeah?
Well, I just wanted to ask 2 questions. Can you explain Professor T quickly?
Professor T. It came up during an interview where they asked me if you could have one superpower, and I was like, mind control. Wait, does that make me Professor X? Then call me Professor T. And then I realized I am always, especially coming back home, I'm in this place where I'm learning and I'm new to things. So I will forever be a student. But also people are like, you're the guru of K-pop now. 10 years under your belt, you're a pro. Like I was like, you can call me professor. And like before I going into this video, I wanted to channel that I am a pro. Like I am becoming this raw, like kind of unpolished, getting my hair, my ponytail out in the video, like human being. But I'm also very, very focused and kind of gonna teach you through what I do and how I do it, and just show you the process, which is what a professor does. You kind of break down what your process is and how it's done, whereas before it was all neatly packaged and you never got to say anything. And Professor T is definitely my alter ego of being this this bad.
You're a bad bitch.
Yeah, I'm a badass bitch. Yeah, that's my alter ego. Here we go. I didn't want to say that, but because you said, what did you say, bull squash?
Bull squash.
Okay.
Instead of bull shees.
Okay.
What was the craziest rule that was imposed on you?
I couldn't swear.
Ever?
We never swore, and then it slowly got to like my bandmates would start saying things, and I'd like casually like flip them off, and they'd be like, "Oh," and I'd be like, "Oh wait, sorry."
Okay, no cursing. What
Yeah.
else?
Always being ready, like photo ready. Like there's a lot of press and paparazzi that started happening when we started promoting. So I remember having like one terrible picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, this means we always have to be ready. And like we have to get up at like 4 a.m. to go to the airport.
Hair and makeup always.
Yeah, always.
Ugh.
And
Did they have somebody do it for you?
yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
I mean, I've tried doing it on my own, but I'm already half asleep, which would make me look worse. Leave it to the professionals.
Did they control your communication outside of the group?
So when we first started, there was no social media.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it was a different world.
It was. It didn't matter. Like, and because they were like, yeah, social media can always be a disaster. Like, online platforms can be such a disaster. You guys should never do it. So we were actually pretty late to the game. Like, I started my Instagram really late, like late 2014, 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we came in pretty late. So that was the pressure of not, like of the label saying, yeah, social media is a mess. And then I found out social media means you can have a voice. So hi.
Did they affect your relationships? Did they keep you from having relationships?
Yeah, when we were younger.
Yeah,
we weren't allowed to date till like in Korea it's like legal age is 20. Yeah, 21, 20, yeah.
So
and
that's
they're
when
just like, yeah, they're like, you guys aren't allowed to date. The first year and a half, was it year? We didn't have cell phones. So I went to payphones to make a call.
So like call your parents back at
Yeah,
home.
and I had like calling cards because back then international calls. I'd call. I'd step out of my apartment and go to the phone booth, and we didn't have phones at all. So we were just really focused.
Was it fun?
working, like going on stage and performing, yeah. But if I think about it now, I'm pretty sure I was miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and luckily I had a fun group of friends, girlfriends that are my family now, and we made the best out of it. Like we were never bored because there were so many of us, and
That's an upside.
yeah.
Did
we
you
always
fight
had fun.
back?
Huh?
Did you ever fight back?
No. I just thought that that's what it was. And like this is what it required. And I think when you're that young and you're just so set and focused on, I remember I was like, I want to make a difference. I want us to get Artist of the Year or Best New Artist. Like I was focused when I got there, and I was just like, if that's what it takes, yes, take my life away. Yeah.
It's crazy that the whole idea is like perfect.
Yeah.
But
So
realistically, it's the complete opposite.
yeah, now that's why perfectionism is something that I keep coming back to. It's a real issue, and I guess it's deeply rooted.
But it's only perfect because they can replace perfect. You can't replace human. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't form a relationship with a perfect robot. You form a relationship with somebody who has a pulse and independent thoughts and like experiences and can share emotion and talk to you about things.
Let's go to Korea. I can translate for you.
Dude, I mean, like, whatever it takes. Like, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in.
Yeah.
I find the whole thing. I had my first interaction with a K-pop group back in maybe 2010, 2009. It was the Wonder Girls.
Love.
They
Yeah.
definitely came here to compete with you,
Yeah.
or they thought they were going to try.
We started at the same year.
Yeah, I remember, like, and they had the Jonas Brothers back.
Yes,
then.
they did.
When you find that out, like, are you like,
I was like, what am I doing with my life?
yeah, where's Nick Jonas?
Yeah, seriously. I remember we've had some healthy competition during those years. The first, because when Girls' Generation first started, there weren't that many girl bands. And then came this huge like era of girl bands after, which is I'm proud to say Wonder Girls and Girls' Generation started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you say they started because of you guys or in response to Girls' Generation?
I think it became kind of everyone was like, okay, I guess girl bands can work through what we were doing, and we worked our butts off.
You can say yeah.
We worked our ass off. Everybody knows that. We worked hard. And I think that's what it is. Being a human being, it's proud about really working hard and not sharing your process.
Yeah.
That's the story.
So you consider them competition?
When we were younger, yeah. We're all friends now. We're so close.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They were really. I never dealt with a harder team than the Wonder Girls because it was really regulated. It was perfection and like.
That was the thick of it.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was
2010.
really intense, and because they felt like that's what kept the brand afloat. That's what made the brand unique.
I remember we weren't allowed
dresses.
to wear when we weren't allowed to wear. We were at Thailand this one trip, and they're like, "Okay, you guys can't go out and swim because we don't want you to be photographed in bathing suits." Wow. Yeah, that just popped into my head. Like yeah.
And at the time, you didn't think anything of it.
I was just like, okay. Put on a t-shirt. Yeah.
Put on a wetsuit.
Yeah, seriously, right? But yeah, it was really strict. But I mean, we started at 17, so I'm gonna understand a bit.
Wow. Tiffany Young, we've covered a lot.
One last question. Now that you're solo, you're back in America, why has it been so hard for Asian Americans to break into like mainstream America?
I think I think most of the other artists or entertainers. Well, the friends that I have, like the Wonder Girls, or when we were here promoting, when Girls' Generation was here promoting, we weren't here full time. Mm-hmm. So we just come by and make stops versus like really kind of figuring out what our identity or what our sound or what it is we want to say to America. At that time when we were promoting, like, yeah, I'm here full time and I'm always just thinking about and watching and just taking in culture and learning. And I think it did take me to live there. I live in Korea, South Korea, and train for 3.5 years. And we also lived like part-time in Japan when we were going full-time in the Japanese market as well. And maybe it is full-time, and I think more and more Asian entertainers are like you know what, I really want to start storytelling. There's also amazing Asian like writers and directors that are coming to the scene, but Asian Americans, I think it's a wonderful time, and there are a handful of amazing artists right now in films, and yeah, I'm just kind of learning and observing with you.
And you're soaking in the culture 100%
Yeah.
now. Last question. What advice do you give to future idols?
Future art,
Go ahead.
Korean artists, yeah,
Please use it.
Korean pop artists. Learn the rules so you can make new rules. Don't break any. Just learn and make new rules, and always like turn to a friend, a colleague, a senior, or somebody there that's always going to be able to talk and just hear your opinion out, and continue to find a voice while doing it, and still be passionate and have dreams while you're doing things. Like, it's never too late.
Cool. Tiffany Young. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks for hanging out.
This was a real interview. Thank you so much. I have to take you to Korea.
I'm ready to go. Over My Skin deserves your ear, so please
Thank
give it a
you.
listen. Thank you, Tiffany Young,
Thank
for hanging
you.
out. I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere, so click them. Thanks for watching.